If you're keeping up with this, you've probably already watched the LexisNexis video about how record sets and data sets interact, but I wanted to show a real functional example of this, as it's kind of hard to grasp. Just to recap what a record and data set is, a record is basically setting the layout for what the data will follow. For instance, let me show you what this looks like. So here I'm making a hello world record. And in that record, I'm saying there is going to be a string of 50 characters, and that the name of that string is called out. Okay, so this is how you actually declare a record. You're gonna the layout. This is the name of the record. You're defining it to be equal to a record. Oops. And here's where you put the items that the layout, basically what the things you want to be included in that record, and then you end it, of course, with in. There is a shorthand layout way to make these, and that's included in the course, and you can see how to do that. It's much simpler to do it the other way. It's just a shorthand, like with many things in programming. Programmers decided to make a quick and easy way to do it. So now let's go ahead and make a data set and put that in the layout of this record. So I did that right here. So I have the data set hello, which equals a data set, and using this syntax here, you see we have a parenthesis and a brace, and then a curly bracket right here. And remember that my record is just a string, and it says out of 50 characters at the most. And here we go. So I'm denoting the different items of the data set with curly braces. So this would be one item. This would be the second item. This would be the third item. This would be the fourth item. Now, how do I know that this is using this record layout? I denote that right here before I put the last parenthesis. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this, and you can see what I'm talking about. You might already see it down there, but I want to show you guys how it compiles. And again, if you're watching all the videos here, you understand that ECL outputs things in tables, and it denotes the columns right here. So let's look at this. So remember, I called this out. You have that right there, out, and here are my different items. This is an example record data set, and you follow this down, and notice how this cuts out right at the TH, right here. I'm sorry, right here. And that's because this exceeds 50. What happens if I increase this to, let's say, 100, and I run that? You'll see here it includes everything because I made that string larger. Well, what happens if we add another item, another piece of this layout? We can call it integer. We'll call this integer 4, and if you're watching the other videos, you'll know what that means. And there's different types of integers. So we'll just call this integer 4, and we're going to call this our number, or rather, no, number is good. Okay. So now I got to keep in mind this layout. So I'm going to keep this in here. Now the first thing would be out, and the second thing would be number. I'm going to denote that by a comma there. Then I'll put a number there. Now I'll do this all the way down. I'm doing all this inside of the curly brace because that denotes my record. Alright, so let's run this again. You'll see now I have a new column called number with all the numbers that I just inputted. Now this can go as far as you want. This is how you create tables in ECL. Records, again, are the layout, while data set is the data. These two items are very important, and perhaps the backbone of ECL. You can save these, and in fact these are all being saved in my database, which is HTHOR. And if you haven't watched HPCC course videos yet, please, I advise you do, and get an idea of how HPCC works, because there'll be a lot more functional details about that there.